1 week ago, I ran my first marathon. Let's talk about what really happened out there. Let's talk about the results real quick. So I ran my first marathon in the official time of 3 hours, 56 minutes, and 36 seconds. So yes, I achieved my goal of sub 4 hours in my first marathon. But it was not easy. It was not easy at all. As you can imagine. But let's go over some of the race context. So for you who don't know, I ran the Atlanta Marathon. And if you've never been to Atlanta, it's so freaking hilly. There's hills after every corner. People were saying, just get up this hill. It's all flat after this. And I turned the corner and there's another hill. I wasn't pleased. I was not happy. But, we got it done. We did get it done eventually. But also the heat did play a factor. Later in the race, there was no clouds, just sun, like 75 degrees. I actually got burnt a little. I had no shirt on, and that may have been a mistake. Let's talk about the race morning. So honestly, when I woke up around 5 a.m., which I normally do, I felt pretty good actually. I thought I was going to be very nervous, very anxious, but honestly, I think I was mentally prepared, mentally ready. I got a decent night's sleep, but I probably had 91 grams of carbs before I left my house, and we drove to Atlanta, got our parking spot, used the bathrooms, no hassle, nothing felt rushed, honestly, and yeah, just got there, took a few pictures, and went to the start line, and it felt pretty good, honestly, until we started. As you know, you may not know, the Atlanta Marathon had about 14,000 racers, and that's with the half marathon. So the first 3 to 4 miles were pretty slow. They weren't really slow splits, but they just felt slow and taxing because I was running behind a crowd of people, and I was even going on the curbs and avoiding people. So kind of just bobbing and weaving through the crowd. So that was a bit chaotic, but we got through that. It may have affected me later on. I don't know. But honestly, after that, I found my rhythm. After the 3rd mile, I was locked in. I was averaging around 8-minute pace, some faster, a little slower sometimes, but the first half marathon, we went. I think I was 145 around mile 13, something like that. But I felt great. First half could not have gotten any better. Ankle was fine. I did tape it up, but I did feel pretty good for it. No pains. We were chilling. And then mile 14, 1 mile after, I felt amazing. That changed a lot of things. I felt slow, honestly. I don't know what happened, but everything felt a lot harder. I was no longer in rhythm. I was no longer in that runner's high, I guess. But thankfully, someone decided to come by and happened to be running around the same pace as me. So what I did is mirrored them. I stayed in rhythm. I heard their steps. I watched them. We kind of ran side by side, maybe a little in front. But I think we stayed together for 6 to 7 miles. I think mile 14 to 20. Yeah, so 6 miles honestly kept me in stride. It kept me going around 8-minute pace, kept me in rhythm, kept my mind out of the equation. My body was on autopilot, just focusing on breathing and leg rotation. And we just kept going. And the funny thing is, we didn't say a single word to each other. A single word to each other. We just kept going until I had to stop. The wall. The famous wall. Around, I think, on mile 21. My left quad felt like it was going to explode out of my leg. I had to stop. I didn't stop, but I had to stop running. I kept walking. I told myself, no matter how bad it hurts, it's gonna be over soon. And you have a goal that you came to accomplish. So keep moving forward, no matter how bad it hurts, because it will pass soon. And the last 5 miles were dreadful. They were a mix of running and walking. And I had about 5 miles left and about an hour. I knew it was gonna be close. I mean, my legs were toast. Not only were my legs toast, but I was also cramping, so that was not helping at all. But we did what we could. And from mile 21 to 26, we didn't average a single mile under 10 minutes. So I'm very grateful we ran that fast for the first 20. And I didn't really care about the pace. I knew I had time. It was a matter of survival. What are we gonna make sub 4? And it came down, honestly, to the last mile. I was struggling, but I knew I just had to keep going, keep pushing, and that's what I did. The last half mile, coming up on the last hill, I was walking up the last hill, or the last big hill, and I got to the top. I could see where the finish line was. I couldn't directly see it, but I knew where it was, and it was all basically downhill, despite one little hill, about a quarter of a mile out. So I began running as fast as I could, and we got to the bottom of the hill, to the bottom of the hill, and boom, both calves gone. Both cramped up so hard, I had to stop. So I walked up about probably halfway up that last small hill, and we had maybe 4 or 5 minutes left. I mean, the finish line was right there, but my legs. So I told myself, just keep going, just keep going. And that we did. We got down the hill, took the second to last turn, and boom, the calves went again. I actually have a video of it. I'll show it right here. But yeah, as I'm turning the last corner to the finish line, both my calves are cramping. I'm peg legging it to the finish line. Like, I could not run. I don't even know how I was on my feet. My calves felt like they were in my torso. They were just seizing. But we had one goal, sub 4, and we freaking did it. We got to the finish line. Sorry, my phone ran out of storage. But yeah, I don't honestly remember the finish line, to be honest. I was in a lot of pain, but I know I was very happy, just so grateful to get it done and celebrate with family and friends. Honestly, I just praise God for giving me the strength to push through, to test my body to its limits. I mean, I couldn't have done it without him, honestly. It was a battle. It was a battle I could not do alone, and I'm so grateful to just be in this position to even be doing things like this. So, yeah, that was the marathon. Now let's move on to what's next. So my training is going to shift, kind of just reducing running, still maintaining fitness. I'm going to work on my mobility and just strengthening my legs to rebuild and recharge, get rid of any knocks or injuries as I prepare for a busy fall for races and maybe even an ultra. Not too sure, it's still in the works, but we'll see. So that's all I got this week. Thank you for watching. If you stayed to the end, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.